I'm pulling my sits bones back, and put your hands, actually put your hands right in your hip crease here. By the way, major lymph points right in the crease of our hips. That because we're sitting more in a shape like this, are not getting to be toned as well as they could, or getting a pumping action as well as they could, and that could keep lymph stagnant in the body. Our body is inherently smart and is always doing the right thing for us, because our mission control here, the limbic system in the back, the primal brain always wants to keep us safe. It's its only goal. We're having our will here and imposing things. And one of the major keys of knowing that your body is taking control is if you're in pain. I'm not talking pain, you have an injury. You know, of course, an injury is also pain, because pain says protection. You're not moving. You shouldn't be moving. We're keeping you out of the busy life for a while. So pain is protection, and chronic pain is overprotection. And what we have to get to is, why is my body trying to protect me, my brain? And can I support my body in a good way so my brain can chill, and can chill the pain, and can chill the protection part? Anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Where I like to call it radical awareness. Become aware of what your body wants to do, or is doing a lot. And we'll do one more time. Let's add the arms. We're going to push the hands forward. We're in a flex position. We're looking down at the pubic bone, and we're going to pull the sits bones back. We're initiating from the pelvis. And I'm going to draw the shoulder blades together in the back. Now you can start to lift the chin a little bit. Don't go too crazy here. And then let's let the pelvis rock back again. That is initiating my flexion, my flexed spine. And pulling the sits bones behind me is initiating the extension in the spine. All of them are good. We want to flex and extend our spine. We want to flex and extend from side to side. Now, as we're doing this, we're going to go right into that reach and resist. I'm going to push bend the elbows. That's if you're holding a mirror up here with your palms facing you. I'm taking my sits bones back. I'm taking my diaphragm back. This is too much. This is too little. I'm taking the diaphragm back. You should feel a healthy engagement in your core here, and then just look up to the ceiling. And maybe your elbows start to lift, but they're not lifting at the expense of your shoulders shrugging up. The shoulders actually come wide as your elbows lift up. Turn on your glutes if they're not on. Here, my pelvis is rocking forward. I'm using my belly, backing up the lumbar spine, squeezing the shoulders and the elbows, and I'm looking up. I'm going to turn my head again and look side to side. Can you turn your glutes on here? My brain is in freak out mode. It says, oh my God, can we get to the fridge, or can we get out and hunt? You know, whatever the case used to be or is. So creating stability for the uncertainty of the brain is always good. Now do a couple of pulses here. We're not going all the way straight. And here comes that reach and resist again. I am reaching my sits bones up to the ceiling it has to be straight, or I need to stretch something. You don't. And I'll prove that to you hopefully very soon if you don't already believe it. You're going to put your hands down, turn the fingertips a little bit out. That's going to turn your elbows in. That's going to widen your shoulders. We've been here already. And you're going to lift your heels a little bit up, and you're going to drop your heels. So there's a slight shift forward. Let the head hang. Let the neck be long. Notice if you look at your thumbs, that is very fight or flight driven from the brain. Showing that's our tucked position. It won't get us anywhere if we wanted to go further. right? So we're just going to do the little ones. And now, as we did maybe 3, 4 right now, now step your left foot into a different position. So now maybe I'll step it a little closer. The left heel is lifted, the right heel is down. I'm going to do a couple of little set. You're going to go ahead and take the right foot forward. We'll do 3 different ones. So let's say left foot is really far out and back. We're going to bend and resist the extension. Let's hop the foot a little closer, doing another bend and extend, and then hop it maybe another little bit closer. You're going to do bend and extend. This keeps it interesting and adaptable for real life, because we don't always. Nice big breath. Looking toward my left hand at the ceiling, taking the diaphragm and the kidneys a little bit back. If there's any pain here, any discomfort in your lower back, can you turn on your glutes more? Can I support my SI joint with my buttocks? If you can't do anything but just squeezing it, go for that for right now. And then take your hand a little further back, maybe in the hip socket. And then I'm going to do little kicks. Tiny kicks. Keep pulling that thigh bone into the hip socket. Don't worry what the knee is doing. Keep it slightly bent. Just don't bend it as we're kicking here. And last one. Bend the knee. Lower. That always blows my mind. How wonderfully long my just worked side feels without stretching anything. Circling. Keep that pull, keep the pulling in. Most of us are not too loose and not too tight in the hips. We're too loose in the hips. And the brain is not liking reverse the circle, too much mobility. It's freaking your brain out. You create your own stability. Ha, that is awesome. Bend one more time. Bend the knee, lower down. Bend, keep with the bent knees, you're just going to roll onto your back. Straighten both legs. And feel that. Wow. Very good. Bend your knees. Yeah, this is good. And let's go back. So we've done already kind of the hard work because we did side lying. It's kind of, where are my hips in space when I'm lying on the side? It's very hard to tell, especially if you're newer to more of a conscious movement practice, because we don't have to think about it. I'm not saying you should obsess over it, but depending on what your goals are, it's good to know where your hips are. The center of my body, here's my navel, and then bring your hands back down by your side. And we're going to start with our little pelvic tilts here. We're just going to do 3 or 4. But as you just palpated your hips, noticing if one hip, and you might feel that one hip is a little heavier on the floor. This could be because one buttocks is more developed than the other. But we'll just check in. And we're doing our little pelvic tilts here. I'm dropping the sitting bones, noticing, are both hips doing the same thing, or is one hip going a little faster than the other? And then I would like for you to think, slow the faster hip down. And you might feel that right away in your belly. By consciously moving the pelvis, we have to talk to the abdominals. The one part that we call, core, but for me, of course, core is the hips, the ribs, the abdominals, the spine. It's everything centrally located in your body. Can you keep your heavy sits bones and your heavy kidneys? Let's bring the heels together and the knees apart. External rotation. Bring the knees together and the feet apart. Pigeon-toed internal rotation. Wonderful way, reverse it, heels together, knees wide, and knees together, heels wide. Harder, you have to work in your stomach, shoulders, back chain, because we're pulling the shoulders a little bit down. Take a little inventory again. How does that feel? Off the ground. I'm having a little, my pants are still touching the earth because we want to make sure we're not leading from our rib cage. Digging down into the floor, and I'm going to lift my pelvis up. Your pelvis might not lift much, but I guarantee you're going to feel your hamstrings. Side, slowly come up. And I hope you have a good rest of your day.